Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're working on commercial maneuvers in a Cessna 172 with my instructor Adam. He's been an incredible mentor, helping me become a more precise and safer pilot. We're starting off with short field takeoffs before heading out to the practice area to work on unusual attitudes, power on and power off stalls, steep turns, accelerated stalls, emergency procedures, and finally we'll wrap things up with power off 180s. Let's dive in and see how the day goes. Bowling Green traffic, Skyhawk 5089 Golf departing runway 3 to the northeast. Bowling Green traffic. Alright, we use every inch of runway here. Full power. Pressure's good. Airspeed's alive. 40. There's 55. Bring it up.
And short field over an obstacle, go pull back a little bit harder. There you go, now kind of level out. I like to see after we get airborne, pull back just a little bit harder, kind of maintain that 60 up to your 50-foot obstacle and then relax it down just a little.
Okay. And now we'll safe altitude. Start working the flaps out.
Alright, we'll go up to 3,000 feet on a heading of kind of northeast, just this general direction.
Bowling Green traffic, Cherokee 3678 Whiskey, departing runway 3, Bowling Green.
Engine instrument still in the green, everything's looking good.
Alright, yeah, when we get leveled out 3,000, you get it trimmed out like you want it, we'll do some clearing turns.
Perfect. I don't see anybody on the, that one behind us.
Grayson County traffic, Comanche follow-up hop is inbound on the RNAV 02 approach. Planned another missed approach.
Alright, so our area is clear. I want to see you, we're at 3,000 feet right now. I'd like to see you climb to 4,000 feet with an airspeed of 80 knots and a vertical speed of 500 foot a minute.
Alright. This exercise is a great way to demonstrate the relationship between airspeed, altitude, and power. In any steady climb, your climb rate depends on how much excess power is available beyond what is needed for level flight. To begin, I slowed down the plane to 80 knots and then started pitching the nose up and adjusting the power to hold the 500 foot per minute climb. It's a real balancing act between pitch and power to keep the climb stable. A little power gets more climb out of it. A little more power. And we're looking somewhat good right there, up to 4,000.
Bowling Green traffic, Skyhawk 5089 Golf is 8 miles to the northeast of the airfield. Going to be maneuvering between 3,000 and 4,000 feet over the Oakland-Smiths Grove area, Bowling Green.
Okay.
Alright, so we're up here at 4,000. I'm going to have you close your eyes and put your chin against your chest. We're going to do some unusual attitudes real quick. I'm not going to do anything real squirrely.
Unusual attitudes are a great way to simulate what it's like to become disoriented in the clouds. Adam flew the plane in a wild manner, trying to create sensations to make me feel like I was turning when I wasn't.
Your airplane.
My airplane. In this first example, Adam handed me the controls with a nose-high attitude. To recover, I added full power, lowered the nose, and leveled the wings at the same time. You slide those flaps in there?
I did.
Ah.
Pitched up and got our airspeed down pretty quick.
Traffic, Skyhawk 734 Mike X-ray is 40 miles to the northeast, 5,500 maneuver.
I don't know what possessed me to look over there, but I just had that feeling.
Runway 02.
Good enough here. You want to close your eyes, put your chin against your head.
Hey, Roger.
Or chin against your chest, not against your head. Hey. Alright, I'm going to seesaw a little bit here, try and get you turned around. Woo-wee. If you start to get nauseous, let me know.
Alright.
Your airplane.
My airplane. For this one, Adam left the plane in a nose-low position. When the nose is pointed down, airspeed can increase quickly, so recovery is going to start by pulling the power to idle. Then you'll want to level the wings first and then gradually pull the nose up so you avoid an accelerated stall. Once you're back to a safe airspeed, you can add power in again and resume level flight. The key here is to stop the descent without overspeeding or stalling the aircraft.
I would like you to demonstrate to me a power off stall.
And sidestepping.
Power off stall, roger that. Approach configuration.
And if you want to pull carb heat out anytime you go below 2,000, just kind of a good rule of thumb.
First notch of flaps. Alright, here we are at 65. Starting a constant descent.
Greenfield traffic, Bonanza 860 Alpha is overflying midfield to enter midfield left downwind, runway 22.
Down 100 feet.
To set up for the power off stall, I first configured the plane as if I were coming in for a landing, bringing the power back, adding the flaps, and slowing down to my final approach speed. Then I let it descend for about 100 feet before pulling back to initiate the stall. In commercial training, we never take it to a full stall and we recover at the first indication.
I'll call that the buffet. First notch, immediate, and positive rate.
If you want to, instead of focusing on positive rate, if you want to hold level and get your airspeed above 75, then that also would work for your flaps. You can keep it not level perfectly, but just a little bit lower to level, and then your airspeed will build up a little quicker.
860 Alpha is turning
Alright,
left
turn
downwind,
left
midfield,
to a
runway
heading of
22.
south. Alright, whenever you get configured, I would like you to demonstrate a power on stall.
Okay. Alright, we'll slow it down to rotation speed. There's 65, tune to go. 60. Full power.
And you can just push power into about 23 if you want, which is on 23.
For the power on stall, we set the plane up in the takeoff configuration. This is to simulate if I were to pull back too hard in the climb out and cause a stall at full power.
Greenfield traffic, helicopter 789 Hotel,
When you
right
push the
base,
power in,
runway
push,
22,
push
practice
carb heat in
auto,
as well. See, if you would have had carb heat in, it would have gone above 23,
I was
but
wondering, I was like, man, are we that high? I wasn't even registering.
no, so just kind of, do you want to do that one again, or do you want to just put that in your back pocket to remember to
I
put
can put
carb
that
heat
in my back pocket.
So let's do an accelerated stall.
Roger. Do it about, we'll slow down to just 10 knots or 5 knots here. 95.
Very good. Kind of like the speed you'd be in a base to final almost. Who could have guessed that?
With the accelerated stall, it's crucial to slow the plane down below the maneuvering speed to avoid damaging the airframe. When doing so, sudden control inputs won't overload the aircraft because it will stall before it even reaches that point. Accelerated stalls are a great way to demonstrate that an airplane can stall at any airspeed.
Carb heat on. Power idle. 45. There's the stall horn. That's really all we need.
That's it, yep, just first indication, roll back out.
First indication.
You don't want to stall like that because you flip upside down.
We don't want that. We don't want to take it.
Right, you got your friendly little island out there. Level at 4,000, I'd like to see you do a steep turn to the left, followed by a steep turn to the right. Area remains clear.
Roger that.
Steep turns were a challenge for me on this particular day. For the commercial check ride, we have to perform them at a steeper angle than what's required for our private pilot check ride. I was struggling with my entry technique and I was letting the nose drop too much. If you set up the entry correctly, the rest of the maneuver becomes so much smoother. In this case, I struggled to maintain altitude and found myself hesitant to pull more G's, which became necessary when I didn't execute the entry as precisely as needed.
Litchfield, Grayson County traffic, Comanche 41 Pop is inbound on the RNAV 20.
Ah, I messed up.
Corporate traffic, Skyhawk 734 magnitude 10 miles north.
And it likes to float a lot more. I blew way past that. Alright, I need to retry that one.
Alright, one thing else I'd like you to try is to turn to a 60-degree bank.
Which is...
Instead of a 50, I'd like you to try a 60, dead at that line.
Okay.
60 is about the most that you would want to do, but I want you to do it once to kind of feel it.
Okay.
And you're going to have to manhandle it a little bit more with your arm.
I think what my problem was on the end of that, I lost, the bank came out, and I started climbing, and I didn't correct on that aspect.
Traffic 212 is crosswind.
No, my rudder is off there. Oh yeah, I hate doing that.
Alright, roll back out level here when we get around here. So just kind of gently bank back around towards those buildings. What I'm going to want you to do, I'm going to want you to pull your power back and slow down just a little bit. We're going to try this, see what you think about it.
Say slow down to what, probably?
95. We're busting about 105.
Truck clear of all runways, Bowling Green.
Alright, so I want you to roll into that again.
Okay.
But then when you roll into it, I want you to push your power into about 2450. Right now we're about 23.
So just 50 RPM more. We're on 24 right now.
That looks like 23 to me.
Oh, does it? Yeah, you got that thing. Okay.
Alright, yeah, so we'll push it into about 25 then if it looks like 24 to you. So roll in, and as you're rolling in, push that power in.
Roger, let me stabilize real quick.
Alright.
Undercourt traffic, Skyhawk 734, Mike X-rays, 5 miles north. Be setting up for 45 left downwind runway 6, Undercourt.
Back pressure. Back pressure. Don't let it get away from you, because when it gets away from you, you got to have all those G-forces to fight against as well.
Springfield traffic Bonanza 860 Alpha turning left crossing runway 22.
I think I just need to reset because that was just not very hot.
I want you to keep turning right here, and we'll roll out towards the
Parkway. Traffic Circle 501 Sierra Coffee leaving Tomar Aviation taxi via Bravo to 12 for a 12 departure. Bowling Green.
Bowling Green traffic, Sky 5089er Golf is maneuvering 4,000 feet over the open Smiths Grove area, 10 miles to the northeast of the airfield, Bowling Green.
Springfield traffic.
So you got your nice parkway down here. So pull your power back and down. Now, if you let it descend, then you build up a lot of airspeed, and it doesn't help you as much. But if you can hold it, that extra power helps you hold your altitude. You just can't let it. Once it starts dropping, it's hard to fix it.
Yeah, it's got to be off from the beginning. My problem there was I had a little too much right rudder, and mid thing I changed it, and it kind of went off too. So I'll try to get a solid start here, and should fix all my problems. And if you're going to
roll off your heading and not visually, start rolling out 4 ticks away. So like right now, start rolling out at east pretty much.
Okay.
When we get around, it'll make your roll out a little smoother.
Slow that power back just a little bit. I'm just going to start at 4100 since we're here.
Fair enough.
And
more power, back pressure, back pressure.
That rudder screwed me up.
Bowling Green traffic circle 1 Sierra Golf. I'm going to go 1-2. Be making a straight up departure to the east, and then 2.5 miles from the field.
Roll back out on your road.
Undercourt traffic, Skyhawk 734, Mike X-rays, 3 miles to the north.
Let me reset again. That's my rudder. I keep thinking the opposite. And my airspeed went to hell.
My airplane, real quick.
Controls.
I want to feel what you're feeling with this.
Inbound, Springfield.
Roll to the left.
Bowling Green traffic circle 1 Sierra Golf for 1.5 mile east of I-65, turning southbound at 1,500. Bowling Green.
That's what I hate. I hate when I balloon. that gyro just flip on us. So I let it descend and then I gain that 10 knots back. But our gyro also slipped on us in the middle of that. I don't know if you watched it slip or not.
Yeah, I didn't look at it till you said it, so.
So definitely be on that yoke from the beginning. It's going to pull harder than you think you should. If you do the full 60, you can try and back it out to about 50, 55 now, but I definitely probably 55 needs to be between the dot and that line at minimum.
Inbound, runway.
I think anything more than 60 is technically an acrobatic maneuver.
Yep.
Let me ask you this: if you were to lose an engine over the middle of Mammoth Cave Park,
Hold on, what'd you say?
if you were to lose an engine over the middle of Mammoth Cave Park out here, where would you land?
2.5 miles from the runway, southeast of the runway. Enter left downwind.
Well, it just depends.
Runway 22.
I'll give you some choices. You're around a bunch of trees. You can land in the river, you can land on a ridge, or in a valley. Those are your 3 options. Or on a road, so 4 options. They're the little windy country roads out there in the middle of the park.
Yeah. I feel like I would, a ridge without trees and stuff?
No, it'd be one of those ridges. Like
No, I think I would hit the river.
Why?
There's less chance of dying on impact to the trees.
Problem with the river in a fixed gear plane is you're going to flip upside down.
Yeah. But you're also going to do the same thing with the trees and hit solid stuff, so.
Not necessarily.
Springfield traffic,
Won't necessarily,
Papa Delta. Turning left downwind, runway 22, full stop, Springfield.
Fun thought process.
It is.
I would land on top of a ridge. Roadways in a little park like that, little windy roads are going to have power lines. The river, you know for sure you're going to pretty much end upside down. And you're in the water, so you got very limited time to get out.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
If you land in a valley, it's harder to see you for search and rescue. You also have a lot of stuff you're going to be going up the side of the plane. If you land on a ridge, the trees are going to be smaller because they get less water.
178 Echo Papa is 3 miles.
You enter what you do. You enter slow flight, and you trim, and you get as slow as you can,
right downwind for runway
and then you flare right above the treetops like you would, but you aim in between trees.
Just let them catch you.
Right, so the idea is your wings are the ones going to kind of catch the brunt of it, and their wings are going to snap off. And then at that point, you're in about a 30-mile-an-hour sled going down through the trees.
Yeah. Either way, you're in a rough spot, but.
Right, so I would recommend that, and then you have less obstruction for the smoke. That way, your smoke can go up in the air and help search and rescue find you. All right, so we did steep turns, we did stalls, and we're about over Oakland Smiths Grove. Engine fire. What do you do?
Exit the hole. We're inbound on the
All right, well, we're going to cut the motor off.
For the plane there.
Go ahead and pull carb heat out as well when you do that.
We're going to cut the motor off, and we are going to.
Gilbert County traffic, Sundowner 205.
I should have verbally explained how I would shut down the engine in this scenario, but that's exactly why we're here, to improve and become better prepared. What I should have said is that I would shut down the engine by pulling the mixture and turning off the fuel to stop feeding the fire. After that, I would turn off all of the electronics, as they could be a part of the problem.
You just let me know when the fire is spiced.
I will. Alright, fire's out.
Fire's out. Now we're going to pick a spot. Got this green field out there.
Springfield traffic, Skyhawk 972 Delta Papa, 10 miles southwest inbound. Springfield traffic.
Alright, engine flight and fire, master fuel selector off, so we shut it down. Vents and windows open if there's smoke, emergency descent execute, master off, check circuit breakers, fire extinguish, open if smoke, emergency descent required. Alright, we've got full flaps in, 7700, 121.5, we made our call, and we turn the electrical system off, open the cabin. Electrical system would have already been off because of the fire. And we probably wouldn't even need to squawk since it's off.
Springfield traffic helicopter 178 Papa turning right base final runway 22 Springfield.
I'm gonna S-turn just a little bit, bleed off some speed, or some altitude.
Alright. You can give her power. Level out for just a second before you climb out. One thing, if we're going to hit it catty cornered, I would have liked to see it be more with the rows than it is.
Yeah.
Also, you got power lines on the other side of that.
That's the reason I caddy cornered it, because when I got lower, I saw those those power lines.
I would just like you to point it out when you're talking through it.
Okay.
Just to make sure I know you know it. I actually grew up over here in Oakland. See this little road out here on your left?
Traffic
5 Rapid engine failure. I do a lot of maneuvers over here. 5 Rapid engine failure. I'm landing on that road. Shooting over the power
That
line.
is a good one.
Traffic.
But you probably didn't know it was there. I've been over it enough times to know that that little road's there.
Bowling Green
Or
traffic.
at least land in the field beside it.
Turning left base 21, touch and go, Bowling Green.
Bowling Green traffic, Skyhawk 5089er Golf, about 8 miles to the northeast of the field. Join the extended left downwind runway 3. Bowling Green traffic.
Got our weather, seats, mixtures, fuel selectors good,
Bowling
lights
Green
as
traffic,
needed.
moving 201 Papa Tango, caution 321.
Probably just need a normal approach, short field.
Yeah, Bowling Green traffic, long as you 2 Mike Lima's on 5 mile final runway 3, practice ILS full stop landing runway 3, Bowling Green.
I'll
Bowling Green traffic, Skyhawk 5089er Golf, midfield left downwind runway 3, power off 180 for Bowling Green traffic.
Power off 180s can be a challenge because no two are the same. I have to take into account the wind conditions and navigate any thermals that might affect my descent rate. To start the maneuver, I pull the power to idle when I'm abeam my landing point, and then add my first notch flaps. Then I turn a high and tight base to assess whether I'm high or low on my approach. If I'm high, I'll keep my pattern square, but if I'm low, I'll cut the corner and fly straight to my aiming point. Another tool I have to manage my altitude is a slip, which allows me to lose altitude without increasing my airspeed. There's a lot more to it than this, so be sure to discuss this with your instructor.
Bowling Green traffic, Skyhawk 5089er Golf, left base, runway 3, Bowling Green traffic.
Springfield traffic, helicopter 789 Hotel, 2 mile final, runway 22, Springfield. Yeah, Bowling Green traffic, long as you 2 Mike Lima's on Alpha crossing runway 3012. Won't be low approach. Springfield traffic, Sky flying 52 Golf in a 2 mile 45, runway 22, Springfield.
At this point, I found myself high on the approach. I should have kept flaps in an approach setting and utilized the slip to help me lose some altitude. However, I was still learning how to accurately judge my altitude and realized I need some more practice.
Nope.
About 3 straps long or so.
Bowling Green traffic, 5089er Golf, on the go, runway 3, remaining in traffic pattern, Bowling Green traffic.
If you're going to do S-turns to lose altitude, put your tail in it a little bit more.
Put your what?
Tail in it a little bit more.
As in like rudder?
Yeah. Just a little bit more. That way it's not rolling, it's actually making the turns.
Gotcha, yeah, okay. Repeat, power's back.
Springfield traffic, Skyhawk 972 Delta Papa, turning left crosswind for 22 Springfield. Bowling Green traffic, moving 201 Papa Tango, departing to the east. Bowling Green.
Bowling Green traffic, Skyhawk 5089er Golf, left base, runway 3, Bowling Green traffic.
Springfield traffic 4 up Charlie, about 5 miles east of the field now, 4000, transition south.
Bowling Green traffic, experimental 1, runway Victor, entering midfield, downwind for runway 3, full stop, Bowling Green.
All right.
It's firm, but that's what you kind of got to do sometimes. Uh-oh, might be a little low. I'll fill it out.
Central traffic, Charlie 972, that's Papa, left downwind 52, Central.
That's weird how I felt low and then I was perfect.
All right. No, I think that's good. Did
Yeah.
2 good ones.
That's good. That was a good flight.
Good flight.
I mean, that wind kind of made me work for it a little bit. But man, I thought for sure, like I felt that sink feeling when I initially almost put power in just to be safe. And I just saw the terrain is just higher than the runway, and it messes with your brain. And I was like, oh, as soon as I got leveled out, I
Central traffic, 071 Papa, 9 miles to the south, southeast, 102.
Thanks for joining me on this flight as I worked on my commercial maneuvers with Adam. Each lesson brings me one step closer to achieving my goals and being a safer and more proficient pilot. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more aviation content. There's so much more to come and you don't want to miss any of it. As always, keep your wings level and your dreams high. See you in the next one.